Do you ever get in a creative mood or just want to make something, but you don't know what to do? Maybe you're overwhelmed with options or you don't know what you're feeling right now. I'm Christina. I'm going to give you 5 tips to help get your creative juices flowing. While I give you these tips, I'll be doing a time-lapse drawing for you to watch so you have something, interesting to look at. My first tip is to use a time-based warm-up. Warm-ups are great methods for getting your creative juices flowing. So you're going to set yourself a timer for, say, 30 seconds, and you're going to capture whatever is in front of you for 30 seconds. This is with a pencil, on paper, or anything. This can be cheap art supplies. You don't need to be fancy. So once you set your timer, you're going to get to drawing, and you're going to draw as much as you can from what's in front of you. And then you're going to look at your drawing, and you're probably not going to love it, but it's not the point right now. You're going to look at your drawing and find the most interesting part of your drawing, and you're going to pick that out, and in a separate section of your page, you're going to draw it for 30 seconds. Then you're going to repeat again. And of the drawing you just drew, that's a lot to say. You're going to pick the most interesting part of that and you're going to draw it. And this isn't probably going to give you a giant epiphany moment. It might. You might find something you love to do and to draw, but the idea is to get your creative juices flowing. Of course, you can change the time, you can get into drawing something else that's in front of you. The whole point is just to get yourself drawing, moving your hand, getting that, hand-eye coordination going and creating something. Also, if you want to focus on one thing and you want a different angle, go ahead and move, change it up. You don't have to stay in the same spot all the time. This is going to help you with the creativity, but it's also going to help you see the common spaces you're in more uniquely and kind of pay more attention to the detail that's around you. The second tip is actually my favorite. It is create a table to roll on. So in role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, there are tables in those books that spell out situations or tell you what traits your character can have. And basically what you do is you roll a die that's specific to the table, and you take the number you roll and you look it up on the table. And whatever the table says you get for rolling that specific number, you use it. So for this, you're gonna pick a die, like a D20, D8, anything like that, D6, most of us have D6s, and you're going to write down random things you wanna do, random things that would be fun to make, write them down. Maybe line 1 is a flower, line 2 is mac and cheese, line 3 is ice cream, line 3 is an ice cream bowl. It can be anything. You're gonna number them, and then you're going to roll your die. If you roll a 1, you're going to draw a flower. If you roll 2, you're gonna draw mac and cheese. So this is just kind of randomizing it. It takes away the need for you to choose between so many options of things that you're excited about. For me, this method takes away a little bit of the anxiety that you can experience when you're in the middle of trying to choose something, so the die just decides for you. If you do not have a die, you can go onto Google and type in die roller, and one will pop right up in Google, so you don't have to worry about owning dice at all, even though they are delightful and beautiful. The third tip I have for you is to redraw an old piece of artwork. We all have artwork or attempts at creating things that we've done in the past, and they can stimulate our minds, and we can get in this retrospective state where we can appreciate how far we've come from where we used to be, and we can also find things in the things we used to make that we can appreciate. And this can be a very, very fun thing. It's just basically doing a redraw, like a redraw challenge, and you're just going to choose to do that because you already have the content and the ideas behind it prepared for you, and then you're just going to get your hand going. This doesn't have to be a full drawing. It can be if you want to. It can be a full redraw. But the whole idea is just to get that going, and it helps you appreciate what you've done just a little bit more. And once that's done, you can go ahead and share that with the people around you or people online, because it's really, really fun to see people do redraw challenges. Now, my fourth tip to just get your creative juices flowing. This is improving that hand-eye coordination. It's not about deep meaning. It's not about anything like that. So my fourth tip is to draw the last thing you ate. All of us have to eat to fuel our bodies. So there is a subject matter out there for you, whether you had a protein shake, I don't know. I don't know what else it would be, but you're going to draw the last thing of food you ate, the last thing that fueled you. So this can be really fun, and you can imagine what the food tasted like, and you can branch it into, if you didn't like it, imagine how it could have been better, and you can change your drawing. And how would that impact the drawing? Would it impact the drawing? What texture was the food that you ate? Was it hot or cold? Was there any sort of condensation on it? While you're doing this, you can try to convey as many textures, temperatures, and feelings as you can. Because if it's hot, it can have steam. If it's cold, it can have condensation. Or even if it's really, really cold, like it came out of the freezer, it can have those ice crystals on it. So try and convey as many textures, temperatures, and feelings around the food as you can. If you're doing full color, you can even make it, if you really hated it, really dark and dreary and really upsetting, or make the tinge the food a little bit, so like maybe make it a little green so it doesn't look good, and convey the feelings that you had around it. Now, if it was the most fabulous food you have ever eaten, go ahead and like hit it with some heavenly light, some golden hour beautiful stuff, and then share that with people, and that could be an interesting little like fun time. So my 5th tip, you are going to draw what has been on your mind recently. So close your eyes and kind of just think of the things that have been on your mind. Have you been worried about civil rights? Have you been worried about Corona? Are you looking forward to something or planning for something? Pick something that's important to you and isolate it down to one item to represent that important thing. So like, if I have a new job, for example, and it's a professional job and I'm excited about it, one thing I could pick out would be the suit that I would wear to work, or the briefcase I could wear to work. And I could draw that, and that would represent something I am personally very excited for and looking forward to. If it's any of the other things, there's plenty of stuff to go on there, like Corona, could be represented by a virus, civil rights, draw a sign. Looking forward to something? I don't know, freedom, interacting with someone without a mask on. Like, draw that. But put on paper what's been on your mind and keep it close to you. This could even be a journaling method, honestly, because you're thinking about what's really important to you. But the whole point is to just, what's the broader idea? Isolate it down to one thing that you can focus on and represent what these feelings and thoughts and emotions have been for you. Now, all of these tips can be super duper useful, or they can be super duper boring, depending on your mindset going in. But the objective of this is not for these individual things to be super successful. They only become successful if they get your creative juices flowing. If you're testing out these 5 ideas and you realize none of them are really for you, and while you're working on it, you just can't stop thinking about this other project you'd like to do, that is exactly the point of this video. It's not for these specific things to be the end-all be-all of your creative pursuits. They're the stepping stone to get you to the next thing you want to do. Even if you decide this creative thing isn't working out today, then you can move on and work on something else. And you can come back to it tomorrow. So I hope you like the tips that I presented today. While I was working on this, I was also making this drawing, so I'm going to talk about that for a minute. The scene that you're seeing in front of you that I've been doing this whole time is inspired by the materials I received from the December 2019 Art Snacks box. I was testing the materials out and seeing how I liked them, because they gave you this white Kuretake Zig white cartoonist brush pen and the Kuretake Zig Wink of Luna metallic brush pen, and I got that one in black. So it was going to be just like black and white drawing on this black paper that I also got because I got the Art Snacks Plus box. So instead of working in the opposite way around, where you usually put the darks into your drawing, I wasn't drawing the negative space, but I was drawing the negative of the image and putting the lights in. So first I went in with the Luna metallic brush pen and put in the midtones, and then I went in with the highlights and applied the white cartoonist brush pen. And once I got all that in, I went back and forth between the two, and I also used the Sakura Jelly Roll and a graphite pencil. So I hope you've enjoyed this, both the drawing and me talking about these 5 different tips to get your creative juices flowing. If you want to hear more, hit the like button and then comment down below. If you want to stay up to date on what I'm posting, you can hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell, and they will send you a message or notification. They will send you a notification every time I post a video. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!